Episode 5. He stayed inside me for a while as he let out a deep, relieved sigh. When he finally pulled away, he gave me the widest, sexiest grin I had ever saw, feeling absolutely satisfied. Emma's POV. I can't believe Zach cheated on you. Carrie gasped in anger. I can't believe you had sex with a random guy in the back of a bar. Tiff followed. This morning, I woke up sleeping inside my car. I didn't even remember driving it. I was parked at a Walmart parking lot. I didn't even know there was a Walmart around. I checked my phone to find dozens of messages and missed calls from Tiff and Carrie. I called them up, and we decided to meet at a diner nearby. Tiff had spent the night with that guy, Steve, and Carrie stayed over the sorority house. After we met up and chugged an entire mug of coffee, I was finally able to tell my friends everything that happened last night. Or the parts that I remembered at least. Damn, girl. Tiff paused for a moment before saying, Hey, I'm sorry I wasn't there last night. I didn't know it was gonna go down like that. It's okay. It's not you guys' fault. How do you feel now?
Carrie asked.
I don't know. I'm still processing everything. In just the span of one night, I lost my boyfriend and my virginity, in that order. Everything after that glass of gin and tonic was a blur. I only remembered bits and pieces, but I definitely knew I had sex. For instance, when I woke up today, I wasn't wearing any underwear. I couldn't find them anymore. And I was sore, like very sore. My inner thighs were throbbing like mad. Who was this guy anyway? What did he look like? Just some random guy I met at the bar. He was tall, gorgeous. What's his name? I don't know. You don't know? Yeah, it never came up. Damn. Tiff sighed. He was probably in Emory. Most of the people in the bar were Emory students, Carrie said. Yeah, maybe. Do you think you'll see him again? Probably not, but maybe that's for the best. The three of us were quiet for a while, taking it all in. He wore protection though, right? Tiff asked the inevitable. Yes. Was it bad? Do you regret that it happened? Carrie said finally. I thought about it for a while and said, No, to be honest, it wasn't a bad experience. I'm not too sure, but I think I came, like, more than once. My two best friends started grinning maniacally, waiting for me to continue talking. I thought I was gonna bleed or whatever, but I didn't. It did hurt for a bit in the beginning, but then it got really good. Yeah, it did. Tiff said to Carrie, and they high-fived each other. So, what happened next after you guys did it? Carrie asked. This was the part that I mostly don't remember. I remembered that he came, and then he pulled away. He got rid of the condom and adjusted himself back. I remembered my knees were shaking and my thighs were sore. My head was spinning, and I couldn't make out what he was saying to me. I didn't want a conversation. All I wanted was to lie down on a BEDSO to spare me from the awkwardness. I just ran. I told them. You ran? They gaped at me. Yeah, I didn't know what else to do. I just said thank you and I bolted. You said thank you? Their eyes were wide and their mouths opened in shock. Is that so wrong? I asked them. Tiff and Carrie started cracking up and laughing like crazy. They were being so obnoxiously loud, people were staring. Guys, come on, I just got my heart broken and you're all laughing at me. I scolded them, but they didn't stop laughing. Yeah, but that's not the only thing that broke in last night. Tiff winked and Carrie laughed harder. Honestly, I didn't know you had it in you. Carrie said in between laughs, but hey, I'm glad you had fun and you kept your manners. Tiff and Carrie went on laughing. I just rolled my eyes at them and continued eating my eggs and toast. We drove back home after we got breakfast. I changed my outfit and wore a snuggly hoodie and sweats that I brought. Carrie was driving and I slept the entire way. Tiff woke me up one time to tell me that Zach's been looking for me. He kept calling Tiff's and Carrie's phones. I told her to block him and went back to sleep. Mom and Dad were at home when I got back. It was a Saturday, they didn't have to work. They asked me about last night and I told them everything was fine. Of course, they didn't know that we went to Atlanta. I told them I was sleeping over at Carrie's and that we had a birthday party sleepover. The next few days went by so fast. I spent my days listening to sad songs and ignoring all calls and texts from Zach. I was in my room most days and cried a lot because he did hurt me. What he did to me that night was beyond repair. And what I did next closed the chapter on us entirely. Sometimes I caught myself wondering about what I did with that stranger in the bar. I wondered if I'd ever see him again. I wondered if he'd thought of me the same. Meanwhile, Tiff and Carrie would try to get me out of the house from time to time. Some days they succeeded, mostly they failed. But it was okay because they understood that I just needed time. Unfortunately, time was of the essence. School was starting again tomorrow, and sooner or later, I'd have to leave my room. At least now I have the car, I don't have to take the bus anymore. I said to myself, trying to motivate myself for tomorrow. Normally, I wouldn't mind going to school. I actually enjoyed some of the classes like English, art, Spanish, even PE. I was pretty social, and I was active. I was part of the swim team, and I just found that I made the cheerleading squad this year. I also had 2 amazing best friends, so the list was endless. But with everything that happened with Zach, I lost my fighting spirit. Some days I wondered if it was my fault. Maybe I didn't treat him well enough. Maybe I should have had sex with him early on. But the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. I had loved him with all my heart, but he chose to betray me. That was not my fault. You're right, it wasn't your fault, Carrie stated. Tiff, Carrie, and I were making our way to homeroom. I was just telling them about what I was feeling last night, and I was glad they confirmed my thoughts. Full story is available on shelfofnovels.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.